My experience teaching, I have seen a lot of mistakes, and that is a wonderful thing. Making errors is a natural part of the learning process. Once I see my students making the same mistakes in their grammar, punctuation, speaking, or other aspects of language, I get to find out the most successful methods to help fix these mistakes. Today, we're going to talk about the comma splice. It is something you may or may not be doing, you may not even be aware of, but we're going to find out how to identify a common splice, and I'm going to give you a couple simple ways to fix them. Welcome, one and all, to the channel. My name is Kevin. I'm an English teacher and writer who has been at the business and the joy of education for nearly 20 years now. I focus in mainly on academic writing, but I also teach native and non-native English speakers speaking skills as well to enhance their proficiency and really create opportunities for their futures. Today, we are going to look at a very, very common punctuation error that you may or may not even be aware you are making. Before we can identify the comma splice, we have to go back to the fundamentals of sentence structure, and I want to identify and help you be very clear to understand what makes a sentence. Now, you might think you know this already, but there are two simple components that make a sentence, and you need to be aware of them. So, the two things in order for you to have an independent clause or have a sentence, an independent clause sentence that stands on its own are a noun, which is a subject, a person, place, or thing, as I know you know. The second is a predicate. A what? That's right, a predicate, which is quite simply a verb or an action. Once again, for your sentence to be complete, you need to have a noun and a verb that is a predicate. Okay? Okay. Excellent. You can see clearly here that we have two nouns. We have he, we have park, and the verb or the predicate is walked. Okay, excellent. By the way, if you are enjoying this video or you feel you are gaining anything at all from it, please subscribe, like, and share. It definitely means a lot to me. Comma splices are very, very common. You may not always catch them, but a good teacher will. So what is a comma splice? Well, quite simply, it is when you have an independent clause, that is a sentence that stands alone with the subject and predicate. Then you have a comma in the middle separating another independent clause. Independent clause, comma, independent clause equals comma splice. For example, he went speeding past a red light. A bus nearly crashed into his car. Okay, so this is a comma splice. Now, how can we correct it? Do you guys have any thoughts? Comma splices can be fixed in a couple of ways. The first option is to separate the two clauses with a period rather than a comma. For example, he went speeding past the red light, period. A bus nearly crashed into his car, period. However, You need to look at the situation. In this case, this speeding past the light is kind of a cause and effect situation. Because he sped past the light, a bus nearly crashed into his car. We don't really want to separate them because it's one flowing action. They should go together. So the second way to fix a comma splice, and in this circumstance, it's probably the best method, is to use a coordinating conjunction. If you guys checked out my other video, I believe, did we? If we haven't, if I haven't, I will put out a video very soon on fanboys. And no, fanboys is not your favorite and my favorite boy band. Fanboys is an acronym, meaning every letter represents a word. It is an acronym for the most common coordinating conjunctions in the English language. In this case, we can slip in a coordinating conjunction. He went speeding past a red light, comma, and a bus nearly crashed into his car. And I think that's not bad. Okay, if we look here, we have other comma splices that need to be corrected. There are many advantages of studying hard. They can help you get ahead in life. Once again, it's your choice. You can separate them with a period, or we can put in a coordinating conjunction. Again, you have to use the coordinating conjunction that is suitable for that situation. Maybe and works here. Simple is always best. Keep it simple, silly, right? Don't try to get complicated. In writing, brevity is key. Less is more. Always try to say something in as few words as possible. There are many advantages of studying hard, and they can help you get ahead in life. That works. Anything to fix the comma splice is better than a comma splice. Fast food is convenient and delicious, comma, it does not contain many nutrients. We can do this in a couple of different ways. So we're saying, although it is convenient and delicious, however, right? So that's a situation where but might be a good coordinating conjunction. Remember, every time you put in the coordinating conjunction, there is still that comma before it. So we could say, fast food is convenient and delicious, comma, but it does not contain any nutrients, or many, if any. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's look at a couple more quickly. He took a supping board far out into the bay. It was a clear and sunny day. I was thinking you could change the order. It was a clear and sunny day, comma. He took a supping board out into the bay. Still a comma splice. How would you fix this? Maybe so. It was a clear and sunny day, comma, so he took his supping board out into the bay, and I did not mean to rhyme. Ron and Harry shouldn't have stolen that car. Harry Potter. They were late for school and felt they had no other choice. Again, if you can connect them, often it's better, unless you're trying to just separate them for maybe the impact of a simple statement. If it's something, I would think that could be more in a novel. When it comes to academic writing, like your essays, your presentations, using commas to create more complex grammar structure and longer sentences is always going to give you higher marks. There are many words you may know. You need to use these words naturally. So, in this case, as with some of the other ones, it's definitely best to go for that coordinating conjunction to create a multi-clause longer sentence that is more complex. All right. There are many words you may know, comma, but you need to use these words naturally. I'm happy to end the video at this point, or at least our little class. This is a really good point to end things as our final example because it's really a lesson that I teach my students all the time. I may give them high level synonyms for common words like exasperated, exhausted, ecstatic instead of happy, or high spirits. And they write the words down, but then I ask them, do you use these words naturally? And sometimes that's a different story. It's very important for you to practice doing even the most simple things and techniques with your language learning skills, to practice using them so that you can do things in an automatic way without even thinking about it. That is how your skills will improve overall. I'm going to be doing more of these little videos that focus in on common grammatical and punctuation errors, things like sentence fragments, misplaced modifiers, run-on sentences. If you are really looking to improve your academic speaking and writing, keep your eyes open and check out these videos. They'll all be short, simple, clear, and they will give you the tips you need to make little improvements that will make a really big difference in the long run. If you like this video, feel free again to subscribe. I totally appreciate it. And if you're looking for any more information on my upcoming publications that I am pushing into the light of day, or my online or in-person classes, visit kevindonor.com. Summer is almost halfway done, guys. Time is flying. Get out there. Be with the ones that are close to your heart. Get the fresh air. Take it in the fresh air and be active. Make some wonderful memories because summer is way too short. So enjoy the rest of it. And I hope to have another video in a couple of weeks for you. Stay healthy in body and mind. I'll see you soon. Take care.